Project Lark is the most simple to understand and also somehow the most complicated and difficult scenario in the game. Early on, just like in other scenarios, you will be joined by several other horse girls who you didn't bring on your sport cards. You'll notice these bars here are empty, but will be filled up when you train. Rainbow trainings also increase these bars by 2. Next to these bars will appear symbols that grant bonuses if you train here. There can be a plethora of bonuses, such as maxing out your energy or gaining aptitude points, which we will be going over later. Once they reach 3, then you will have the option to do a race on the far right side. However, it is pretty much always a better idea to hold off until you have 5 participants, as you will receive better bonuses that are just things that you would train for normally. There's no point in waiting once you get to 5 participants, as you need to gather as many of these points as possible, so once you do have 5 participants, go ahead and do the race. The race here can change from an SS to an SSS randomly, but the chances increase if the racers involved have been involved in a race before. Naturally, as the S's increase, the rewards get better. You'll be hard pressed to actually fail these races, at least I have been. Another way to get the most out of your training is to keep an eye on this gauge here. The horse girls who train with you can be considered your teammates in this scenario, so just like you, the higher they place, the better rewards you will get here. The more this gauge fills, the more training bonuses you get. You can also see how much of a training boost you're getting here, so you can try to diversify who you're racing against to get more bonuses if you can. On occasion, you'll also get these versus races, which your teammates can also participate in to raise their bars a bit. You'll also get a small amount of points for completing a race. Now let's talk about Aptitude. There's a new button on the main menu, and within its mysterious confines, we find a special shop. Once certain conditions are met, you can unlock a passive effect as well as spend globe dollars on boosts that also clear challenges and make the overseas races easier. The second tier of each of these boxes clears the challenges in the scenario. It's going to be really tough to win these races without these challenges cleared, so you want to make sure that you're capitalizing on these whenever you can. On the race screen for the scenario races, you can see what challenges are going to give you a hard time by clicking this button. As for the scenario itself, it's always the same no matter what horse girl you're training, so it's always predictable. Worth noting is that the main races in the scenario are all over 2200 meters, which means that this training is best experienced with middle to long distance horse girls, and even then middle distance is going to be tricky. We also know that summer is replaced by an overseas excursion and exactly when it happens. As for skills from this scenario, they are aplenty. You can get skills for raising this gauge to 100%, winning the Prix de Lark. You can get a skill depending on what you pick from this screen, and a skill that you get from winning all 4 scenario races. The final race in the scenario is definitely the hardest one, and despite my best efforts, I can never win it, so don't feel bad if you can't either. Le fil de chevaux, au revoir.